The first sign came not from the sky but from the silence that followed. For weeks, astronomers on Earth had tracked a flicker in a distant constellation, a star that pulsed like a heartbeat, fading in and out with strange precision. When radio telescopes turned their ears toward it, the static shifted into a rhythm too deliberate to be random. A message. And within that pattern, one name repeated. Elias Rowan. Elias wasn't a scientist or soldier. He wasn't anyone special by Earth standards. A 32-year-old botanist who'd spent his life cataloging endangered plants in remote jungles. But the message contained coordinates, DNA sequences, and a mathematical sequence that matched the exact structure of his genome. Someone, or something, had chosen him. The world reacted with its usual mixture of fear and fascination. Governments fought over who would control the communication. Scientists speculated endlessly, and conspiracy theorists screamed about abduction and replacement. Elias wanted nothing to do with it, until the lights appeared over the Pacific. One night, while on a research ship near Micronesia, Elias saw the ocean split open with light. A vessel, massive, translucent, and alive, rose silently from the depths. It wasn't mechanical. It pulsed like a giant jellyfish made of crystal and mist. Before he could react, a beam enveloped him, and the world blinked away. He awoke in weightless suspension, surrounded by liquid light. His lungs didn't burn. He could breathe, though he was submerged in some kind of bioluminescent fluid. The chamber around him was organic, walls shifting like muscle beneath skin. Then, the liquid drained, and he collapsed onto a surface that reshaped itself into solid ground. Before him stood beings unlike any he'd imagined, tall, slender silhouettes with skin like mirrored glass and faint patterns of stars across their bodies. Their faces were serene, almost human, except for their eyes, luminous orbs that seemed to hold entire galaxies within them. Elias Rowan, one of them said, though the sound came not from a mouth but directly into his thoughts. We are the Vilari. You have been chosen. Chosen for what? Elias managed, trembling. The Vilari shared a vision. Their world, Vorin, once a lush, emerald planet bathed in twin suns, now reduced to a cracked wasteland. Their biosphere had collapsed after centuries of misused technology and ecological imbalance. Their people were sterile. No new Vilari had been born in over 2,000 cycles. They had searched the stars for compatible life forms, species whose biology and spirit might merge with theirs to restore life. Humanity, chaotic but resilient, fit the pattern. And among them, Elias's unique genetic structure, a rare adaptation from years of tropical exposure, made him the perfect candidate to seed rebirth. They didn't want him to mate, as humans would understand it. They wanted his biology, his cells, his instincts, his creativity, to become part of their world's ecosystem. He would not just repopulate them. He would become one with Vorin. Elias's protest faded as he realized resistance was futile. The Vilari ship drifted silently through folds of space, skipping across dimensions like stones across water. He saw nebulae blooming like gardens of fire, black holes shimmering like mirrored pools, and stars being born and dying in moments. When they emerged, he saw Vorin, a dying planet circling twin suns, its once blue oceans reduced to veins of dust. Massive towers of crystallized structures dotted the horizon, ancient spires that once breathed energy into the skies but now lay dormant. As he stepped onto the surface, the ground hummed faintly beneath his feet, as though the planet itself recognized him. The Vilari guided him to the cradle of renewal, a colossal dome of translucent crystal. Inside, vines of luminous energy pulsed through glass-like roots connected to an ancient core. This, the lead Vilari said, is the heart of Vorin. It remembers life, but it has forgotten how to dream. Elias felt the chamber react to him. The air thickened, lights flickered, and images flooded his mind. Forests, rivers, creatures that shimmered like mercury. The Vilari watched in silent awe as the heart responded for the first time in millennia. His connection deepened. They placed him inside the core, surrounded by millions of nanoscopic life seeds, each one capable of rebuilding cells, rewriting DNA, and transmitting memories into matter. Elias's body would serve as the template, his immune system, his endurance, his instinct to adapt. Days blurred into dreams. The process wasn't mechanical, it was intimate, biological. The seeds wove through him, mapping every cell, every thought, every emotion. He wasn't simply contributing DNA, he was becoming the genetic memory of an entire civilization. Elias began to hear whispers, the voices of ancient Vilari, preserved in light. They spoke of their golden age, their arrogance, their fall. He felt their regret, their longing, their fragile hope pinned entirely upon him. But something unexpected happened. Elias's memories began to merge with theirs. The more the Vilari infused him with their energy, the more human emotions seeped into them. Empathy, fear, love, humor. The cold perfection of their kind began to crack under the warmth of humanity. The planet responded. Small green tendrils began to sprout across the barren soil, feeding on the energy he radiated. The skies cleared slightly, revealing streaks of color long lost. The Vilari watched, speechless, as their world took its first breath in ages. Yet, the process came at a cost. Elias's body was breaking down, his cells overloading with alien energy, his DNA stretching beyond human limits. He was no longer man or alien, but something in between, a hybrid consciousness bound to a planet's soul. Weeks later, the transformation reached its climax. Elias stood atop the crystalline plateau, the heart of Vorin pulsing behind him. His skin glowed faintly, veins filled with golden light. Around him, life erupted, grass shimmering like silver, winds whispering with the laughter of newborn life forms. The Vilari approached, kneeling. "You have given us back our world," one said. "But what of you?" Elias smiled faintly, his voice resonating with the tone of thunder and leaves. "I am already part of it." With that, his body dissolved into a cascade of light that spread across the planet, infusing oceans, forests, and skies. He became the ecosystem itself, his consciousness scattered through every leaf, every drop, every breath. The Vilari rebuilt, humbled. Under his influence, they learned balance, not control. They grew crops from the soil of memory, built cities that breathed, and lived in harmony with the life that Elias had rekindled. 1,000 years passed. On Earth, Elias Rowan became a myth, a footnote in cosmic folklore. But across light years, on Vorin, his presence endured. Children born under twin suns whispered prayers to Alaris, the human spirit of renewal. The Vilari, now a thriving hybrid race, bore traces of humanity, laughter, curiosity, imperfection. And deep within the planet's core, a faint heartbeat echoed through the soil, his heartbeat. One young Vilari human hybrid looked to the stars one day and felt something stir, a distant pull toward a blue planet far away. Earth was calling back, and the cycle was about to begin again.